Can you actually paint car parts with aerosol spray cans? Or is that the fastest way to ruin a car? Because in the next few minutes, I'm about to find out the hard way. Today I'm gonna paint my salvage 2013 Hyundai Santa Fe Sport in my garage with no paint booth, no air compressor, and no professional tools. I bought this Santa Fe from the auction a couple of days ago, and in the last episode, I fixed all the major damages in just one day. I replaced the damaged radiator, AC condenser, and also retrofitted a new bumper with new fog lights. And the car currently has absolutely no defect codes and is mechanically perfect. But as you can tell, I need to get the front bumper painted to complete this build. Now, as you know, in general, the decade-old paint on any car versus a fresh new paint sometimes could have a slight shade difference even from a paint job by a professional, which often takes a lot of redoing. But for my budget salvage build, it doesn't make sense for me to spend hundreds of dollars just to paint the front bumper. So instead, today I'm going to paint the whole front end using paint matched aerosol base coat paint. And if this goes wrong, there is no hiding it. The color could be off and the finish could look terrible, which means I might have to redo everything all over again. So the main question is, can I actually paint this car using aerosol spray cans? Let's find out. So now the next step for me right now is the body fill work. So the new bumper does not need any kind of body filler. It actually came primed from the factory, as you can see. So I just need to go ahead and sand this off. Along with that, I will also wet sand this area and apply some body filler. And then finally, I can go ahead and apply some base coat as well as some clear coat. Alright, the car is now masked on the front end, and that is because I don't want to touch anything else other than the work area, which is right here. My first course of action would be to start wet sanding this area to make sure this area is as smooth as possible. And I'll try my best to straighten this more, whatever comes out, and the rest will be taken care of by the body filler. It's gonna be a lot of work, so let's get started. I completely overlooked the transparent protective film on the hood, and this film is commonly found on the hood to protect the paint from bugs and rock chips. Since I have to repair this area and paint it, I can either remove the whole film at once and continue the repair work, or I can simply cut out just the minimum film around the body line here so that I can repair and later install a physical bug deflector to cover this area, which will then have no protective film. And I think this will ensure that I have a seamless body finish with full protection on the front. Alright, as you can see, the body filling work is completely done now, and when I run my fingers over it, there's hardly anything I can feel in terms of any dent or abnormality, and this area also turned out really good. Initially, if you remember, the dent was too big, and now it is completely flush, and this area should look good after the paint work. So as you can see, I have already gone ahead and masked the front side of the car, so now I can go ahead and scuff this area with a 1000 grit sandpaper, as well as scuff the new bumper with a 1500 grit sandpaper. Alright, as you saw in the time lapse, I went ahead and wet sanded the whole front bumper in the car, and as you can see, it's all dry now. And this is going to become a nice bonding surface for the new primer to come and sit. And the primer I'm going to use today is the Scratches Happen primer. And this primer is actually gray in color, and that's because the paint of the car, if you remember, is this light gold color. So a paint like this will require a gray primer underneath this, and Scratches Happen does a really good job to identify what color of primer they need to send you with your complete paint kit. And I have the whole set right here. You may have previously also seen me use Scratches Happen products on my previous Honda CR-V salvage rebuild, and the results were outstanding. In today's episode, I'm going to use an aerosol complete paint kit by Scratches Happen. The process is very simple. You check your VIN and the paint code mentioned on your VIN plate. Then go to Scratches Happen website and input your car details. Their website has all the relevant information and the suggested paint kit for your DIY job, starting from chips or minor scratches to a complete paint kit for the perfect finish. Scratches Happen guarantees color match match. And in case you have difficulty matching your metallic shade for whatever reason, you can always reach out to their customer service and get help almost immediately. In the complete paint kit by Scratches Happen, you will get primer, base coat, clear coat, masking tape, test cards, wet and dry sanding paper, tack cloth, painter's gloves, polish, as well as static wipes. Which means for your DIY paint job, you only have to put an order with Scratches Happen and they will take care of all the supplies. Scratches Happen has served over 1 million satisfied customers across US and Canada, and they take pride in their quality of paint. You can enjoy a 10% discount on your order using the code BELLFIXCARS. Huge thanks to Scratches Happen for sponsoring to this episode. Now let's test the color match. I'm gonna go ahead and give the car a quick wipe with a lint-free tack cloth, and after that I will make sure that all the tape is fine. As you can see, some of the tape is coming out, so I need to make sure all the masking is completely fine before I start spraying any paint. I have the summary of dry times here from the Scratches Happen paint tutorial, and you can download this online for free. As per the instructions, between each primers I have to wait 30 minutes. Before applying any base coat paint, I have to wait for approximately 1 to 24 hours. And between each base coat, I have to wait between 10 to 20 minutes. So I'm gonna wait for an average of 15 minutes between each base coat. Alright, I have shaken this aerosol can really well, and the way I can understand is by looking at the dents under the aerosol can. And if there are dent formations, that means you have done a really good job mixing the contents inside. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the cap and test the output of the spray on a test card. As you can see, the spray output is really good. So now it's ready to be sprayed on the car. And before you start applying any paint, always remember to use your face mask to protect yourself. Alright, it is the next day and the primer has dried completely. The way I can understand if the primer is ready to be sanded is if I touch the tape on top of it, it should be completely dry and there should be absolutely no residue. And the reason we need to sand it is because, as you can see, the surface is very rough. So this needs to be sanded off to a smoother surface. And I can simply use a 1500 grit or a 2000 grit sandpaper to smoothen the surface out and then wipe it off with a clean tack cloth. And after that, I can go ahead and apply some base coat. Alright, the primer is completely sanded now, and as you can see, the surface is completely smoothened out. So this means it is now ready for base coat to be applied on top of it. And for the base coat, I'm going to use the Scratches Happen Hyundai IM Coat Paint, which is the paint coat I retrieved from the VIN plate on the car. Alright, I've shaken it well for 1 to 3 minutes, and now I can see some visible dents underneath, and this means the ingredients inside has mixed well. So now I'm going to go ahead and test the spray paint on the test card. And always remember, you can only paint match your new paint with the old paint once you have applied at least one layer of clear coat. Alright, the test card is now dried up, and now I can see that the paint is dried. So this is my old broken bumper, and if I put it next to each other, you can see that this color on the test card is approximately the same as the one on the bumper, which I'm really happy with. So now I can go ahead and start painting the car, and between each base coats, I will wait for 15 minutes. The game plan here is the first coat will be a very light base coat, so that I can create a foundation for bonding for second and third medium to heavy layer coats. Painting your car parts has become so much easier now than before. The car community always has an online debate whether you should or shouldn't paint your car using aerosol paint cans, but they forget that it is fundamentally exactly the same concept, which uses pressurized compressed air to spray the paint mix evenly on the body panels. And this Scratches Happen aerosol paint can is just the same, but in a smaller scale. The paint composition inside this can is actually base coat 1K paint, and we are always free to choose the top coat of our choice, such as 1K or 2K clear coat. Alright, it is the next day and the paint has dried completely well, and the way I can tell is if I touch my finger on any of the tape around it, I shouldn't see any paint on my hand, and the quality of paint looks absolutely stunning. It is very consistent. Now, before I go ahead and apply some clear coat, I want to make sure that all the gaps right here between the tape and the body panel, such as these closed panels right here, I want to make sure that I space them out properly with a very sharp knife or a blade, so that when I apply my clear coat, I will be able to remove all the masking tape immediately, because if I don't unmask before the clear coat dries, I may peel the dried clear coat along with it. So the best technique is always to make sure you unmask as soon as you apply your final layer of clear coat. And for the clear coat, this is the Scratches Happen 1K clear coat I'm gonna apply today. And you have seen me use this clear coat in the past. The results are usually outstanding. Alright, I have gone ahead and shaken this for 1 to 3 minutes, and now I should be able to test my spray output. So here's a test coat that I've previously used. I'm gonna go ahead and apply 2 coats. As you can see, the spray output was absolutely clear, and from the reflection of the light, you can definitely tell the consistency of the spray output. Alright, check this out. The car looks absolutely phenomenal, and it looks as good as new. I am so happy with the results of the color match. As you can see, this bumper is painted newly and the fender is the old one, and they have exactly the same shade, which is what is really exciting for me. And also, it has just been 24 hours, and because it's a brand new fresh paint, I would let the paint dry up for another 48 hours so that the paint is completely matured, and then we can see the difference of the paint shade under the sun. And also the hood repair came up really well. I can see a little bit of distortion in the front, as you can see from here. It is not perfect, but it is not even noticeable. So I'm happy with the result. So to complete the paint job, the only thing I need to do is wait for 72 hours, and after that I can wet sand the new bumper paint and prepare it for polishing. For now, the only thing remaining is to finish it up with the front bumper grille. And as you can see, these are the supports that I need to cut off before I go ahead and put my grille. And here is my grille. This is basically an eBay grille. There you go. It is so nice and shiny. So first I'm gonna go ahead and put in the Hyundai logo, and this should sit in like this, and this should be good to go. And it should be a direct drop-in replacement. Check this out, this looks completely brand new. If you can notice, there is a bit of a misalignment on the hood, which is an easy fix, so I can get onto it later. And here are all of my current builds lined up together. You probably remember my blue 2018 Santa Fe rebuild from a couple of weeks ago, as well as my fully built Lexus IS 350. It is the next day today, and I got my windshield replaced from a local shop, and it looks perfect. For all of my rebuild cars, I always like to get an engine flush with full synthetic oil change, and the car is completely done. This is what the car used to look like before I started working on it, and now it looks like this. If you remember, in the beginning of this episode, I cut out a small portion of the factory bug protection film in front of the hood, so I added a physical bug deflector, which is pretty common in my region because I live around the prairie land. And I also added a new CarPlay screen in the previous episode, and this new screen definitely appreciates the interior of the car. And look at the car now, it looks absolutely perfect. I am happy with the paint match so far, and the quality of the paint from Scratches Happen is absolutely perfect. I know there is a huge debate on whether you should paint your car with an aerosol spray paint or not, but in my opinion, for smaller DIY parts, you should definitely try paint matched aerosol spray. And as you can tell from my experience, I absolutely love this product. I drove the car around for about a week or two, and before I listed it for sale, a buddy of mine was already interested in this SUV, and just like that, it was already sold. Here is the cost breakdown of this rebuild. I bought this car from the auction for about 2,400 Canadian dollars plus additional miscellaneous fees, and the cost of parts, repair, inspection, and windshield summed up to around 3,000 Canadian dollars, which brings the total cost of ownership of this build to a total sum of 6,000 Canadian dollars. I sold this car for about $7,000 considering its high mileage and the salvage title. So this brings the profit margin to approximately about 15%. Let me know what you guys think of this salvage rebuild, and if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe. In my next video, I am going to introduce my new rebuild project, and I guarantee you will absolutely love this build. Please don't forget to subscribe, and until next time, I'll see you on the next one.